Welcome back to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith. In this episode, we are going to be doing our Team Battle Mode gameplay video for Flash Duel. But first, I just wanted to go over the two new characters we're introducing in this particular match. These were voted on by you guys, the viewers, which we appreciate very much. So I'm going to show you what the different abilities are for these characters. And the other thing I'm changing is originally it was going to be me and Luke teaming up against Andrea and somebody else. But instead, it's going to be me and somebody else teaming up against Luke and Andrea. We're going to introduce that mystery guest to you just after I show you these ability cards and we're ready to start our duel. So let's get to the table and see what these cards actually do. Alright, so the first character we have here is Jaina, and this was first proposed to us in the YouTube comments by David Flagel, and it got the most votes in the end. And this is the character that Andrea is going to be controlling. So the first ability that this character has is the Charged Shot. So at the start of your turn, you can reveal a card from your hand and then push an opponent back that many spaces. Now what's neat about this is normally you have to be adjacent to the opponent that you want to push. But with this ability, Andrew will be able to push any opponent on the board back that number of spaces, regardless of whether or not she's adjacent to that player. So that's a great way to be able to push someone perhaps out of range of an attack, or just set up her teammate to be able to attack that opponent in the next turn perhaps. We also have the Smoldering Embers. At the start of your turn, retrieve a 5 from the discard pile. So Andrea will be able to, at the start of her turn, retrieve an additional card to put in her hand that could potentially give her 6 cards to choose from in her hand on a given turn. And last, we have the Flame Arrow. At the start of your turn, attack this turn as if you played a 6, okay? So no discard is required. It says the opponent can't block it unless he has a 6. So basically, Andrea just says at the start of her turn, I'm going to attack and I'm using a 6. So she'd be able to hit something that's within 6 of her. And of course, unless you have a 6 in your hand, and remember the cards only go up to 5, so it's going to be very hard to block that 6. So that's very dangerous. We're going to have to be very careful about how close we allow ourselves to get to Andrea's Jaina character. Alright, next up we have Bao Bass Beta. Now this character was chosen by one of our playmakers, one of the contributors to our Indiegogo fundraiser, by Brian S. Blake. He chose this robot-looking creature, which has the ability of Rocket Punch. So when you attack, you treat a card in your hand as if it were 1 higher value to a max of 5. So let's just say you were trying to attack someone who was 4 spaces away, and you had a 4 and a 3 in your hand, then you could use both of those as 4s, because you could take one of those cards, the 3, and treat it like a 4. So that's pretty handy. You also have the Steam Vent ability. At the start of your turn, push an opponent from a dark space away from you 1 space. So that allows you to reposition where an opponent is, but then also that opponent can't dashing strike on his next turn. So you're taking away one of their potential actions that they could take during their turn. And lastly, we have Reboot. So this takes place once you move, and if there are 3 cards left in the draw pile. At that point, you can discard your hand and then retrieve that many cards once again from the discard pile back into your hand. So let's just say you just moved and you happen to have 4 cards left in your hand. You can discard those 4 cards and then draw any 4 cards you want from the discard pile. So that's very useful, but keep in mind, again, you'll have already taken your main action during that turn. You'll have already moved. So those cards that you collect, you'll be using probably more to defend with. But you'll be able to basically pick what defense you have. Alright, so those are the new characters. Luke is going to continue using Vendetta that he used in the full mode that you saw us play earlier, and I'm going to use Jefferson DeGray again that you saw me also use in the full mode. I'm going to get Luke, Andrew down here, and our mystery guest, and we're going to begin the Team Battle Mode playthrough. Alright, welcome back. With me is
Luke Smith
and
Andrea.
And introducing for the first time the newest member of our Watch It Played family and the newest member of our family, the 4th member of the Team Battle Mode, Harvey Walters, the Budgie. Now, Harvey has not been in front of the camera a whole lot and maybe a little bit nervous, but we're working on that. We're working on our communication skills. I believe 1 blink means yes and 2 blinks mean no, but we're still working that out. So it's going to be me and Harvey. Now, the name, Harvey Walters, where does that come from? Do you remember?
Mansions of Madness, our first video.
Our first video series, we did Mansions of Madness. One of the beloved characters from that was Harvey Walters, so we decided to name our new pet budgie Harvey Walters. Okay, so Harvey and I are going to be teaming up. Harvey's going to be playing Bal Bass Beta. I'll be playing Jefferson DeGray. And the kids will be playing their characters against us. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the cards, I'm going to shuffle them up, we're going to deal them out. 5 cards to each of us. I'll probably hold Harvey's cards for him. Is that okay with you guys?
Yes.
Okay. Now these dice are not to decide who goes first. We already rolled for that. The kids are going first. But what we're going to do is anytime someone has to retreat from a dashing strike, so remember when you retreat from a dashing strike, on your next turn you have to recover. That person will just take this to show they still have to recover during their turn. It's just a way to help us keep that straight. We have more people to keep track of, plus the bird's trying to talk to me and communicate with me, so this will just help us keep everything
You just
straight.
blinked once, that means yes.
See, the bird agrees. We're already working things out, Harvey and I. All right, so I'm going to shuffle these cards out, deal them out, and we'll get started. So we've all got our cards. Even Harvey has his cards. He's over here talking about it right now. Harvey, let's keep it down. We don't want them to know our plan, right? Okay. So... Yes. So Luke is going to be going first. Luke, you go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to be moving too.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to pick up a card.
That's right. And so now it's going to be my turn. I'm going next. So remember, in team play, you can talk to your teammate. Me and Harvey have talked it over. I am going to be playing the 3. He's in full agreement with this. I am going to be using the brown piece. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, and then I'm drawing a card. And now it's going to be going over to Andrea's turn.
Okay, so it's my turn now, and I'm just going to move 4. I'm the green piece. And then I'm going to pick up a card because it's the end of my turn.
All right, so now we have to go to Harvey. All right, Harvey has chosen the card he wants to play. He's going with a move of 4, and Harvey's using the blue piece. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Harvey's moved ahead of me, and he's going to draw a card. All right, Harvey, that's for you. And now we're going to go back to Luke.
For my turn, I'm just moving 1.
All right, so we're slowly moving towards each other. No one's rushing in to attack just yet. All right, now it's my turn. Okay, I'm about to take my turn, but Harvey just pointed out that Luke forgot to pick up his card. So he's going to do that now. Thank you, Harvey. And now I'm going to take my turn. And I am going to dashing strike. So I'm going to play a 5. I'm going to dash forward 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to use another 5 to dashing strike 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on green, which is Andrea's piece. Andrea, you have to block or retreat.
I can't block that. Can you, Luke?
Yeah, I can use a dashing block.
Okay. How would you do that?
I'm going to use a 1 to go up, and then use the 5 to block.
Exactly. So that's the dashing block move, something that's unique to the team battle mode. Luke was able to come up there and help his sister block the move, which means Andrea doesn't have to retreat, which means she doesn't have to recover next turn. Okay, well, it's the end of the turn. I get to draw my 2 cards. At the very least, I've gotten a few cards out of Luke's hand when it comes around to his turn again. And now it's Andrea's turn. All right, it's Andrea's turn. Harvey was disgusted with that dashing block, thwarting our plans. He's turned away from us. He's mad at the other team. Andrea, it's your turn. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm actually going to use a special ability that I have called Smoldering Embers.
Yes.
And at the start of my turn, I can retrieve a 5 from the discard pile. And there's 1 on top, so I'm going to take that.
Oh, you're going to flip that? Good. So the ability's been used. It gets flipped over to show it's been used up for this particular match. And now what do you want to do?
I'm going to attack you.
With that 5 you just
Yes.
picked up. How nice. Okay. And that's right. I am 5 away. And Harvey, I do not have any 5s. Can you help me out? Just let's work. I know you're upset. Let's turn around and let's work this out. Okay, Harvey won't turn around. He's stubborn like old Harvey Walters. But he is looking towards the cards. And he's indicated to me that he has a 4 and a 5, which is very useful because that means he can do a dashing block as well. So he's using the 4 to dash forward to me, and then his 5 to help me out with that block. Thank you very much, my friend. Now remember, Andrea picked up an additional card at the beginning of her turn, so she still has 5 cards in her hand, so she doesn't have to draw any cards. So, now it's Harvey's turn. Now Harvey is out for blood. He's going to do a dashing strike. And notice they're both on the same space, so if he dashing strikes either of them, both of them have to respond to it. That's right, Harvey. Way to go, buddy. Okay, so he's going to use a 2 to move forward. 1, 2. And then the 3 for the attack. So you guys have to play either a 3 from your hand to block or retreat from it.
Okay, well, I'm going to block because I have a 3.
All right? And Luke, what are you going to do?
I guess because I don't have a card, I'll use a special ability. Opponent dashing strikes you. You may retreat any distance from 1 to 5. No discard required.
Right. So Luke can just flip that ability card over and retreat any amount he wants up to 5.
2.
Okay. All right, Harvey. They escaped you this time. All right. Harvey didn't hit them, but he seems to be a little happier now. He's turned around. He's going to get his 4 cards to replenish his hand to 5. And now it's going to be Luke's turn. Luke, what are you going to do for your turn?
I'm going to dashing strike you, Dad.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see about that. Now, the thing here is I'm behind Harvey. So Harvey will not be able to dashing block me because in order to get to my space, he'd have to move backwards. And you cannot move backwards during a dashing block. So what are you going to do to dashing strike me?
I'm going to use a 3 to move.
Okay.
And then a 4 to attack.
Okay. I had to think about that for a moment there because I have the pile bunker ability, and that allows me to, if I retreat from a dashing strike and I have 4s, I can then attack with those 4s. Now, I'm not saying I don't have any 4s, but I'm not using the pile bunker ability, so maybe I don't have any 4s. So I'm going to retreat using this 1. I don't want to move too far from the action because I want to be able to help out Harvey if he needs it. So, Luke, you can now pick up the cards to refill your hand to 5. And now it actually is my turn, and oh yes, I'm in recovery, so I have to just draw cards. That's all I can do. So I'm going to do that, and now I'm no longer in recovery, and now it is
My turn.
Andrea's turn.
Okay, so for my turn, I'm going to be using my special ability called Flame Arrow, which is, at the start of your turn, attack. As of this turn, you played a 6. I don't have to discard a 6, and the opponent cannot block it unless they have a 6.
And I'm assuming you're attacking me. Okay,
Yes.
so here's a little problem. Here's a little problem when you're playing team mode and you're distracted and not paying attention. I allowed myself to get within 6 of Andrea. So very important when you're playing against a Jaina character, you have to make sure you don't allow yourself to get within 6 or this happens. There's no way I can block that. Of course, I don't have a 6 in my hand. And if I'd been thinking, I wouldn't have retreated by 1 space. Now, the reason why I retreated by 1 is because I had 3s in my hand, which would have allowed me to dashing block if Harvey got himself in trouble. Harvey, I'm sorry. Harvey's come a little closer here.
He's getting a snack.
A little snack. He's getting exhausted from this. I've been defeated in this match, and I'm out of the game, unfortunately. But Harvey is still in it.
Stop eating and start playing.
Harvey, no, it's okay. Get your energy. I need you to be well rested and ready to go. Harvey's still in the game. He could still knock out either one or both of these opponents and potentially win it for us.
So I'm drawing a card to end my turn, and now it's Harvey's turn.
All right, so Harvey, I hope you've got something good planned there. What's that? You do. All right, okay, good. Harvey's got a plan here. He's going to play, let's see, a 3 and a 2. And he's using his special ability, the Rocket Punch. All right, he's using this when he attacks. He treats a card in his hand as if it were 1 value higher. So he's going to use his 2 as a 3. That is 2 3s against green. Andrea, do you have anything to block with?
I do not.
Oh, Andrea gets a taste of her own medicine.
No.
An attack she cannot block. Well done. I would high-five you, Harvey, but that would be difficult to do. All right, so Andrea is now also out of the game, so her piece is removed from the board. Okay, so Harvey has to draw 2 more cards, so he has 5 cards in his hand. There you go, Harvey. Take a look at those, see what you think. And now, Luke, it's your turn. What are you going to do for your turn, Luke?
I'm going to attack Harvey.
Okay.
And I'm going to use Surgical Strike.
Right.
I can choose a number 1 to 5 and make Harvey block with that card.
Right. He has to have the number that Luke chooses in order to block. Normally he would have to block with a 2 because that's what's being attacked with, but now Luke can force him to any number. So what number?
4.
And why are you choosing 4, may I ask?
Because Andrew has a lot. There's a lot in the discard pile.
All right, so the chances of Harvey having a 4 are pretty slim. Let's see. Oh, Harvey, I'm afraid Harvey does not have a 4.
Yes!
Harvey, don't take it too hard. I've lost to these guys many, many times. It gets easier, believe me. Okay, so So that was the team battle mode. You've seen how it works. Harvey's been knocked out. The kids win, of course. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the team battle mode and having Harvey Walters on the show with us. All right, so we have one more video to do in this series. We're going to explain to you guys. Yes, I'm just about to tell them that. Okay, so what Harvey and I were trying to say is that in the next episode, we're going to come back. I'm going to show you guys how to do the Raid on Death Strike Dragon mode. There's actually two different modes that involve the dragon. One where it's the dragon against all the other players, and then where it's the dragon against all the other players, but one of the other players could be a traitor actually secretly working with the dragon. So we'll see that in the next episode. Until then, thanks for watching.